Dear students, now let us come to the second chapter of history. The name of the lesson is Geographical Features of India and Prehistoric Period. In this chapter, we have to learn about the geographical features of India, geographical division of India, and also about the prehistoric lifestyle of human beings, and also the meaning of what is a prehistoric age. Dear students, since from the beginning there was a intimate relationship, close contact between man and environment. Environment and man. Man cannot survive without environment, but environment can survive without man. Is it true? Yes, 100% not false. Is it true? Yes, what is the relation between environment and man or human beings? For all his needs, for all his demands, we are prehistoric people. They depended, and we depend what? Nature or environment. If you look around you, different types of creatures, pools, tanks, rivers, dams, constructed buildings and other flora and fauna can be seen. Thus, now if we take the example of India or Indians and also environment of India, the same factor means there is a close link between environment and Indian people or Indian geographical features. Now, see, look at this map. See, India. India is a peninsula. India is a peninsula. What does peninsula means? Can you? Peninsula means India is also called Indian Peninsula. Why? Because it is surrounded by three sides of water. Here, 1, 2, 3, and one side by land. Therefore, India is called a peninsula. India is surrounded by water on three sides and land on one side. Therefore, it is a peninsula or a Pariyaya Bhumi in Kannada. Yes, now India is situated in which continent? Asia. In the south of Asia. South of Asia. Asian continent. In the south of Asia, India is there. The direction is south. Then Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, Hindu Ocean, Himalayan mountains. These are the geographical features of India, situated in Asian continent, in the southern direction. Now, the neighboring states or countries of India. Which are the neighboring countries of India? Bangla, Pakistan, China, then Russia, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar are the neighboring states of India. Neighboring states of India. Thus, geographically, India is located in a central position or a place having a good environment. We studied India is a subcontinent. You know what is peninsula? Now it is a subcontinent. India is a subcontinent. Now the question is why? You studied in the 6th and 5th standard. Subcontinent, or in Kannada, Upakhanda. India is called subcontinent because in India there is democracy, democratic system of government. Unity in diversity, all types of people are there. Chinese are also there. Pakistanis are also there. So many people of these neighboring countries are still residing in India, practicing their own food pattern, lifestyles, and also practicing different customs, rules, norms, etc. Therefore, we can see different types of cultures, rituals, spiritual feelings in this world. But the speciality is that majority of all these features we can see in India only. Therefore, it is called India is a subcontinent. Therefore, our first Prime Minister, who Nehru, he called India is a melting pot. You know what is pot? What is a melting pot means? If you put any item in a melting pot, it can melt it. If you put any item or food grains in this melting pot, it can melt it. In the same way, India is also attracts different types of people and treat them as Indians. Treat them as Indians. There is no discrimination, no difference, but it acts, all are equal, all are Indians, and provide space for those who are coming to other nations. Therefore, Nehru called India is a melting pot. Now, second category is the geographical features of India. The heading, the very name itself indicates the geographical features of India. Can you know which are the geographical features of India? Yes, it is very easy to identify the geographical features of India. See, first one. Which one? In the north, Himalayan mountains. Himalayan mountains. Second one, Gangetic plains. Third one, Deccan Plateau. Fourth one is coastal areas. If we study all these four in detail, we can learn the full history of India, business status of India, and facilities of India. Thus, the geographical features of India is classified into four parts. First one, Himalayan mountain. Second one, Indo-Gangetic plains, a fertile land of North India. Then the central point of India, and it is also the oldest part of India, that is none other than Deccan Plateau. Then coastal areas, eastern coast and western coast. These are the coastal areas. Now imagine, what are the benefits Indians are still getting from this northern Himalayas? The plains is also called as the central part of India, heart part of India. Why? The importance of Deccan Plateau, it is very, very essential. How? Coastal areas. What are the benefits of coastal areas? We already know, for fishery or fishing, and also both international and national trade, coastal areas are very important. Now, in the north, the snow-capped mountains. Snow-capped means it is covered by snow, Hima. Covered by snows. The snow-capped mountains are checked. The chilly winds that blow from the side of China and protected India from those chilly winds. Then it also protected India from the foreign attacks. 2 points are there. Please remember. Now, third one is, it also protects the safety of India. It also protects the safety and solidarity of India. Next one is In the northern Himalayan region, few intrusions on ancient India from northern Himalayan region. The attacks have been mainly from northwestern side. Northwestern means this direction. Northwestern directions. Khyber and Bolan passes. Khyber and Bolan passes. Through these passes, passes means Kanive. Through these passes, many foreigners attacked India. For what purpose? To grab the wealth of India, to defeat the Indian dynasties or rulers. Thus, from the chilly winds from China, India protected the Indians. Then Bolan and Khyber passes are the highways for many foreigners. It also checked those attackers and avoid the attacks of foreigners. Then here in this Himalaya, the tallest peaks are there. K2 is the tallest peak of northern Himalayas. Thus, the geographical feature, first one is the Himalayan mountains. It protects India through 4 points. To prove this factor, what are the uses of Himalaya to India? First one is the chilly winds that blows from China side. Himalayan mountains stopped this and give safety to the Indians. Point number first. Second one, in the northwestern direction there are Khyber and Bolan passes. Many foreigners tried to attack through these passes, but Himalayan in the northern side or direction, it acted like a great wall and protected Indians from the foreigners. Next, it also provides a safety and solidarity of India. Through Himalaya, we can got security and solidarity. That is about Himalayan mountain. The next one is Indo-Gangetic plains. Indo-Gangetic plains means it is none other than Ganga Jamuna plains or Ganga Yamuna plains. Ganga Yamuna Bayalu Bhumi, Bayalu Dari, no, Bayalu Pradesha. That is Indo-Gangetic plains. This is, for example, this region is called Northern Plains or Indo-Gangetic plains. These lands are very fertile, means it is not useless, it is useful. It is not unfertile, it is fertile. Why? Because while flowing from the rivers Ganga, Yamuna, they transported different types of alluvial soil in this region, and this soil is very, very helpful and fertile and suitable for agriculture. Therefore, This Gangetic Plains, northern Gangetic Plains, has a great economic importance and also helps to agriculture. The Gangetic Plains are extremely fertile. The ancient civilizations of Indus Valley and Vedic period flourished here. Vedic civilization, Indus Valley civilization flourished in this area. What is the reason for this? See here, Ganga, river Ganga is there, river Yamuna is there, therefore water is available anytime. Then soil is very fertile, it is very useful for agriculture, therefore people had chosen this land for their life. Here it is very useful for agriculture, water facilities are there, therefore people together collected and started their life here. Thus Indus Valley civilization flourished in this fertile land. Agriculturally it has a great importance because it has fertile soil, that is alluvial soil. Then third one is many battles. Many battles took place in this region. In this region, why? To have control over this rich land, powerful land. The rulers of different dynasties attacked here. Why? To get the control of this region. Why? Because it is the central part of India, fertile soil, water facility. If water facility is there, it provides the way for all other facilities. Water is very important. Therefore, here availability water is a great boon for those people. Many battles have been fought from time to time to establish control over this area. Usually the dynasties that established control over this fertile Gangetic plain was also established empires. One Song dynasty established power here, survival of the fittest. That is the rule of those days. Now also the same. These powerful dynasties constructed their huge empire, not emperor, empire or kingdoms, and ruled this fertile land. It has great economic values, Then the Narmada river separates India into two. Narmada. Which river? Narmada river. See here, Narmada river separates India into two, northern India and southern India. Which river separates India? The river is Narmada. It separates India into two. One is Malwa Plateau. Malwa Plateau, and another one is Deccan Plateau. Malwa Plateau is also called Central Highlands. Central Highlands. And another one is Deccan Plateau. The Narmada river separates India into two parts. First one is Malwa or Central Highlands or Malwa Plateau. Second one is Deccan Plateau, that is in the south. That is in the south, Deccan Plateau. The Mauryas and the Guptas ruled these two areas of ancient India. The Mauryas and the Guptas ruled these two areas of ancient India. The Indian coastline is vast and stretched over 6,100 kilometers. 6,100 kilometers. Here, the Deccan Plateau and Malwa Plateau. See, the Mauryas and Guptas, there was a clash between them to establish their own empire in Malwa and Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau is also known as the India's oldest place, one of the oldest places of India. What is that? That is none other than Deccan Plateau. Who tried to establish their empire here? Guptas and Mauryas. Now the coastal, Indian coastline is vast and stretched 6,100 kilometers coastal areas. We have a long coastal area. Dear students, let us stop today's class and please take down some questions. While coming tomorrow, you have to write answers to these questions. Take down the important questions. First one is, how can you prove that? How can you prove that there is a relationship between man and environment? Man and environment. Which are the 4 geographical classifications of India? Which are the 4 geographical classifications of India? Third one. What are the uses of Himalayas? What are the uses of Himalayas? Yes. Last one. Draw an outline map of India. Draw an outline map of India. Yes, students, we will meet tomorrow. Sai Ram.